Certainly when I was training, being at the Royal College of Music was half of it, the other half of it was being in London. You know, I can't stress how important it is to utilise your resources. I made a point, from the moment I got into that place, I thought, right, this is great, this is my base, this is where I'm going to train. But by night, I was knocking on stage doors, I was meeting people, I was networking, because so many, I don't know if you find this, Ellen, with people in your year, so many people graduate and expect to get a job like that, and it doesn't, you know, it just doesn't work. You've got to build through the contacts. Even people at the top of their game. If people seize the initiative, what do people do when they're not doing a show? What do they do? If they've got a show that finishes in March and start another one that starts in October, then, you know, because usually people don't audition until their contract's up, and suddenly, oh, you know, oh, come and see my last show, and then it's audition, I'm auditioning for this, I'm auditioning for that. Then what?
Spend your time doing workshops as well.
Workshops and teaching, really, really, really important. So, you know, I think you learn by doing, and that is an amazing skill to be able to have, because as a musical director, the music is one side, but the people skills and the business mind that you need to have. So you're either in music mode, or when you switch off music mode, you go into this other mode. It's like, how do I deal with this person? He can't make a show, but I'm not going to get upset with him. We need to work this out in a nice kind of diplomatic way. How do we do it? And booking bands, okay? Usually, the MD, if I'm doing a show where I live in Brighton, okay, I will have in my phone a list of first choice musicians that I would use for whatever it is, because there's two types of band, aren't there? You either get your band for Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, which is 3 keys, guitar, bass, drums, and sometimes a trumpet if they can afford it, okay? Which is more of a band setup, isn't it? You wouldn't use this in Joseph, okay? You'd nod your head from the keyboard. And it's like, oh, it's your cue now. Whereas if you were doing, say I was doing with my Amdram group, Les Mis Schools edition, okay, which is, you know, full string section, double reed, double horns, 2 trumpets, 2 trombones, percussion, drums, 3 keyboards. You've got a big band to fix there, okay? So generally what happens is string players, no string players, clarinet players, no clarinet players. Oh, Michelle's free, she'll do it for you. So I'd say to get yourself known, you know, people say, well, how do I get in? How do I do this? You know, where do I start? Start with yourself. Start with yourself. Don't look outside yourself. Start, what can you do? You need to make an impression. So putting on a concert with yourself, featuring yourself. What's your name?
Holly.
Holly and Friends. Okay? You must know other Friends singers. And the concerts are relevant. It's the fact that Holly has seized the initiative to do that concert and brought people to it. Oh, look at Holly, she's organised all this. Look, there's a bar over there, she's got a raffle going. Look at this, look, that's lovely. The stage, all the lights. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's how I kind of made an impression, if you like, in Brighton before I went to the Royal College, is, you know, I seized the initiative, and it was from my experience, because you will learn a lot by doing that. Yeah. The more you do yourself, you know. And to be honest, that is much more exciting, doing a concert like that, where you can, if you want something, you can do it, rather than, you know, in the West End, oh, can we use this depth, can we do that? It's all quite uniform and corporate, you know, especially when you have band fixers in the West End. You know, you have band fixers that organise the band for you, and you turn up to the band and you've never seen anyone. There's no like, hi, you know, do you remember this show, do you remember that show? You know, there's no fun in it sometimes. And, you know, sometimes I prefer, you know, when I finished a big contract, I say, right, come on, let's do our own thing. That is really important, to film it, so you've always got a record of your work. It's so important, and record it. And never skimp on that recording aspect of it. Because, you know, I look back at stuff that I did a long time ago, and I think, yeah, it was, you know, it wasn't fantastic, but at least I've got a record of it. Then you look at the one 2 years after, and you think, that's been improved, and you're always improving because you're always learning. Seizing the initiative to do something on your own, many more people will take notice than if you just say, here's my CV, here's my CV, here's my CV. Because it's interesting, when I auditioned for the Royal College of Music, yeah, sure, you know, I was doing a piano audition, of course you're expected to play piano well. But then you have to go the extra mile. So in my interview I was like, yeah, I MD'd West Side Story last year. And they were like, oh right, tell us more about that. And I was no better than any other piano player there, you know, it was all much and muchness really. But somebody that goes the extra mile and sometimes goes against the grain. Like my final recital, I played West Side Story with Elwin. We did a duet together with 2 big pianos on the stage, and I came out in this red sparkly shirt with glitter all over it, and it was like the campest thing you've ever seen in your life, you know, but it made an impression. A lot of it is psychological. Getting into this industry, you have to put yourself in that person's shoes. If you were employing someone, what would you want to see from them? You would either want to see something very good, or you would want to see something so different that you can't possibly ignore it. Okay, and that is the way forward. I think you've got to make an impression, and never do what somebody else has done. Always make it different. You know, do things the way you want to do them, whether it's controversial or whether it's conformist, or you know, you've got to do it the way you feel is right, because I think that then puts your stamp on it and you feel satisfied with yourself. So you're going to be my guinea pigs now. Okay, so standing up.
I don't sing, do I?
No, you don't sing. Okay, so we're going to do some breathing exercises. Here's a breathing exercise that I do a lot, and this kind of works, especially if you're in the morning.